Hi everyone, welcome to your Gentle Flow yoga class. Today, making sure that you have enough space around you, so a mat and a little bit of space around you for your practice. We won't really be moving off the mat, but it's just kind of nice to set yourself up in a really nice warm space as well, particularly if you are somewhere that is particularly cold at the moment. I have a blanket with me also, which can just come in handy to support you in some shapes. So I'll show you as we go along, as we have done over the weeks, perhaps under the knees or maybe under your head in your child's pose and things like that. But we will get to that when we need to. So just setting yourself up any way that you're comfortable to start your yoga practice today. So that might be in a seated position. Perhaps you might be lying down, really depending on whether it's early in the morning for you. Perhaps it's your lunch break. Maybe it's nighttime, but what kind of energy do you have with you at the moment? And just using that kind of prompt how you feel that you might like to start your practice. So you may come down to a lying position today. And if you choose to lie down, maybe the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Perhaps the legs are out nice and straight. Or it might feel nice for you to bring the soles of your feet together and just take the knees out to the side. And finding whichever position feels best for you. Just finding a little bit of comfort here. So beginning to draw your awareness inwards now. Just coming into the here and the now. So not worrying about what you were doing before this class, what you have to do afterwards. This is time just for you. So just acknowledging that and gifting yourself that time to recharge. If your eyes aren't closed down, just closing them down now if you're comfortable there. Beginning to notice how you're feeling today. So how are you feeling on all levels? Check in physically, mentally, emotionally. What's going on for you today? I'm doing a scan perhaps of the physical body, so checking in a little deeper with how we're feeling physically. Maybe a little bit of movement might feel helpful. Just to explore where there might be some tension or some tightness in the body that you might like to release today through your class. Maybe you can notice it just lying in stillness or sitting in stillness, or maybe a little bit of movement helps you to get there. Just working through that body scan, maybe from the head down to the tips of the fingers, tips of the toes. Can you notice? What can you feel? And then checking in with the quality of the breath that you have with you today. Does your breath feel like it comes with ease? Does your breath feel tight, sticky, restricted, short? Or is it nice and smooth and long? We are most likely breathing into just the chest. It seems to be where we are throughout the day, particularly if we are busy or feeling a little bit stressed. So through this class, let's focus on our breath. Just on smoothing it out, allowing it to perhaps become a little bit longer and a little bit deeper, but without forcing that to happen. never stressing and straining the breath, just allowing it to become that little bit deeper, maybe just with that awareness of the breath. Let's take 3 breaths here. So inhaling in through your nose. If it feels okay, fill up a little deeper. And then exhale, release the air out through your mouth. Maybe a big sigh, release. Inhale in through your nose, fill all the way up. Exhale, sigh, release. Make it a nice big sigh if you can. It will feel really good. A nice big inhale in through your nose, fill all the way up. Exhale, biggest sigh today. Releasing it out. It can be a nice thing to do just throughout the day. It doesn't take very long. Just 3 deep breaths and big sighs. You could do this anywhere, anytime. Let's flutter open those eyes when you're ready. Just going to draw the knees in towards the chest. So if you are in a seated position, just coming down now onto your mat. Let's make some nice circles here with the knees. So circling out in one direction and then circling around the other direction. Maybe separating the knees and then bringing them back together as you circle. And we'll find our first twist today. Let's take the arms out to either side of the body, taking your knees over towards the right side. And just being gentle with your body here. You may bring your knees all the way down towards the mat, towards the ground. If they don't quite get there, that's where you might like to use your blanket or any props that you have with you. It's okay if you don't have anything there. It can be helpful just to be able to support your twist. Just notice your breath here. Does it feel like it's a little bit more restricted? Or can you use your breath to create some space in your body where you might feel tension and tightness in your muscles? Maybe the rib cage can expand a little bit more as you inhale. You can send your exhale breath into the areas of tightness and tension and create that little bit more space within your body. Let's use our next inhale breath. We'll come back through the center. We're going to go over to the other side. So taking your blanket with you if you have used that for support. And then drawing those knees over towards the left. And settling into your twist here. You can create any shapes that you need to today. So I'll guide you through these shapes, but as always, please just move how you feel you need to move. So move with the type of energy that you have today. Move in ways that will serve your body. You know your body better than anybody else does. So if you feel like something's not right, the shape doesn't feel good, just make a small adjustment. It doesn't need to look a particular way. Just work into what you feel. What's going to make you feel that sense of release, or whatever it is that you're looking for in your class today. Let's come all the way back through the center. Draw the knees in towards you once again. You can be narrow, you can be out nice and wide, create a little space. And then let's just make our way up to a seated position. So if you like the little rock and rolls that we do sometimes, you can do some little rock and rolls up and down the length of your spine. It can feel good for that back, particularly if we've been sitting down all day or if we're about to, driving. And coming all the way up. Beautiful. Now let's come around. We're going to find a child's pose here. So turning yourself over, coming into your 4-point kneeling position. Let's just bring our big toes to touch, and you can take your knees out nice and wide here. Let's sink our hips back towards the heels and find a child's pose. So you might like to use your blanket underneath your forehead for a little bit more comfort in your child's pose today. Maybe you just want to rest your forehead straight down onto that mat. If it doesn't quite reach, you could make some fists with your hands as well. It's an option. Or if this is compressing through the knees at all, that blanket can be supportive there. Or you can just keep the hips a little higher as well. Just settling into your child's pose here. Allowing those hips to sink back. Breathing into the back of the body. Notice where you feel tension in the shape. Does this shape feel good for you? Does this shape feel challenging for you? And really gently, when you are ready, coming back to your 4-point kneeling position. Coming to a seat here on the mat. You may like to just sit up here. Maybe you want to prop yourself up onto your blanket. Before we start to flow today, we're just going to do a little bit of mindfulness practice. So perhaps closing down your eyes again in any comfortable seat. So you might be in a cross-legged position. Perhaps you are sitting back onto your heels. Maybe there's another way that feels more comfortable for you. Just take a moment to find that comfortable seat. And then closing down those eyes. So drawing our attention inwards here. And I'm going to invite you guys to set an intention today. There's a lot of change going on for, I'm going to say pretty much everyone, I feel, in our world at the moment, which can make us feel a lot of things. So I find it really helpful to set intentions at all times, really, but particularly in times like this. So it can be nice to just set an intention, perhaps around this theme, maybe around letting go of these things that we can't control. Perhaps we're setting an intention around being a little bit kinder to ourselves, or remembering to be kind to ourselves and to others as we experience change. Something that's helpful in your intention setting is repeating your intention over in your mind in the present tense. Like, I am calm, I am kind, I let go of what I cannot control. Just having a think. Perhaps there's some really positive habits or patterns that you've been able to create over this time that you'd really like to take with you as we perhaps move into new phases of change. Perhaps it's just that thought of letting go and flowing. That could be a really nice theme through our class, as we will be doing a little bit of flow work. Maybe it's just I ride the ebbs and flows. With change I grow. So just taking a little bit more time here just to cement what that intention might be for you. What are your intentions over this time? What is something that you can take with you through your practice and out into the world, into your external world, off the mat? And repeating that to yourself over in your mind, perhaps 3 times. And then when you are ready, just fluttering open your eyes here. We'll come into a few nice flowing side bends in our seated position. So again, you can be cross-legged, or maybe you are sitting back onto your heels here. Just placing the right arm down as you inhale. Let's reach the left arm up and over. Then exhale, swap it over. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing your hand down. Inhale, flowing over. And maybe you're reaching a little further each time, creating a little bit more length. Again, noticing where is the tension, what can you feel, what can you release. Use your breath as you flow. Connect your breath with your movements here. So nice big inhales as we reach up and across. Exhale as you float down. Inhale up and across. Exhale as you float down. Inhale up and across. Maybe you're changing where your gaze goes. Maybe it's forward, perhaps it's up. A few more rounds here. Seeing if you can find just a little bit more length. What little changes do you make each time? What feels good? Here for one more on each side. Nice big reaches up. And slowly coming back down. Let's turn ourselves around back into our 4-point kneeling position here. Ready for a few rounds of our cats and cows. So tucking those toes under. Let's come into a nice big inhale. Drop the belly, lift the gaze up. Exhale, press through the hands, arch the spine, gaze between your knees. Inhale, dropping the belly. You can do this with your eyes open, maybe with your eyes closed. And any little movements that feel good, add them in side to side. Just a couple more rounds here. Inhale, breath, gazing up. Exhale, breath, rounding. And the next time that you come back to your 4-point kneeling position, let's begin to walk those hands forward, finding our puppy pose. If anyone has a puppy at home, it might look like this when they stretch. So hands walk forward, nice stretch to open up through those shoulders. Chest leaning down towards the mat, maybe the chin touches. Perhaps you have a blanket or something else underneath your forehead here. Just breathing, releasing into the shoulders, the upper back, or wherever you can feel that tension in your body. Maybe it's the feet as we've got those toes tucked under. Okay, for 2 more breaths. Pressing through your hands nice and gently, working your hands back to your 4-point kneeling position. Find our first downward facing dog, guys. So we're going to tuck our toes under, press through our hands, send our hips nice and high, downward facing dog. And you can pedal out through those feet, so drop one knee, or drop one heel, and then the other, walking out your dog. a lot of dogs and puppies and animals, frogs and things in yoga. I might do a frog today. And we'll do a lizard. So maybe a few big bends in the knees and sending the hips up nice and high here. This can really help you just to find that length through your spine. So crown of the head to the tail, lots of length, pressing into the mat, and then allowing the heels to draw down towards your mat. Armpits rolling inwards. We want a bit of strength here in this down dog as well. The hands are pressing down, feet are pressing down. Belly towards the thighs. Soft bend in the knees if you need. And breathe. Remembering it doesn't matter what you look like here, it's how it feels in your body. You want to try to find that length through the spine. Beautiful. Let's begin to walk our feet up towards our hands. We'll find our first forward fold here at the top of the mat. So big bend in those knees. It's releasing through the lower back here. And of course the neck and the shoulders getting a beautiful release as well. So we can nod the head yes and no. Release a little more through the neck. By having that big bend in the knees, we're able to release through the lower back a little more, which can get quite tight sitting at our desks and things as well. Maybe the hamstrings and the calves are a bit tight, so the backs of the legs, that's why you might like to straighten them out a little bit more. Interlace our hands behind the back. We're going to open up a little further through the shoulders and the chest. And just breathing here. Releasing the hands down towards your mat. Pressing through your feet. Let's roll up all the way to standing. Then allow the palms to touch overhead. Nice big reach up towards the sky. And then exhale, folding forward. Nice, slow and controlled inhale. We're going to lift halfway so we have that nice flat back. Exhale, fold. A few rounds here of this. Inhale, lifting halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet. Let's rise all the way up. Lots of length here. Reaching up to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Big bend in your knees. Plant your hands down onto your mat. Step back. Find your downward facing dog. Beautiful. From here, let's roll forward into a plank position. Option to drop your knees down. And then press it back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward. Drop the knees. And press back. One more round. Inhale, float forward. Drop the knees, lower all the way down onto your mat. Let's work into some baby cobras from here. See another animal. Hands are down by your sides, so just by your rib cage. Tops of the feet planted down to the mat, thighs pressing down to the mat. Gazing forward, we're lifting just the chest. So as you exhale, lift just the chest away. Squeeze the shoulder blades down and back. Elbows down towards your rib cage and lower. Inhale, breath, lift just the chest. Just a small little lift here. And lower, being nice and gentle with yourself, keeping that gaze forward, working with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Perhaps you want to bring your hands out Fingertips down onto the ground just outside of your mat. And then you may feel a little bit more release through the upper back as you lift and lower. Inhale, breath, lifting up, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Good, one more round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Let's bring those hands back down beside the rib cage. Tuck the toes under. Come back through your bent knees and then back up into your downward facing dog. And we'll begin to walk our feet back up to the top of the mat here. Press through your feet. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands come to your heart center. Beautiful. From here, let's move into some side bends in our standing position. So I'll face you so you can see me, but you can stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to bring both arms up towards the sky and then take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. I'm going to begin to fold over towards the right side, creating lots of length here through the side of the body as you reach up. Use your exhale breath to fold over. So inhale to reach, exhale to fold. You may come a little further than this on this side. Maybe this is it for you today. One side of your body may be completely different to the other. You'll probably notice that with mine. Gently coming through the center. Let's swap those hands over. Nice big inhale, breath up. Exhale, folding over. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Notice where you feel that stretch. Maybe it's through the low back. Maybe it's through the side waist. Maybe it's the armpit. Inhale, come back through the center. Exhale, let's fold forward here once again. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, planting both hands down. Let's step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Taking a few breaths here in your down dog. Perhaps you find your child's pose feels better. You like to go there instead. From here, let's make our way back up to the top of the mat, maybe just a step to the top this time, and fold. Press through the feet, inhale, let's rise up with that breath. Exhale, let's fold down. Keeping your right foot forward, step back with your left foot. And dropping your back knee down. Coming up here, inhale, breath. Exhale, sink. So in a nice low lunge here, you might like to prop your back knee up with your blanket under it if there's a bit of pressure, or roll up your mat. Interlace your hands. Let's reach up towards the sky. A little back bend as the chest lifts up towards the sky. Nice release for the hips, also through the shoulders, the back, opening up the chest, hip flexors. Let's fold it forward here. And coming into our lizard. So we're going to bring our hands to the inside of that right foot, both hands on the inside of the right foot. This may be your lizard, straightening out that back leg a little. Maybe you have a little bit more range and depth in your lizard. You might like to roll onto the outside edge of the right foot. Perhaps bring your forearms down onto the mat. So if this is available to you, great. If it's not, that's completely fine. This might be where you feel that nice release in your lizard, perhaps propping up onto that blanket there as well. Working into whichever depth feels right for you, not pushing it, not going too far. Staying here for 3 deep breaths. Not rushing those breaths. When you finish, we'll just frame the front foot with both hands. Tuck the back toes. Lift your back knee. Coming into our high lunge from here, so pressing through your feet. Lifting up here, high lunge. Beautiful. Dropping that back knee down. Maybe interlacing the hands here and opening up through the chest. Planting your hands down, step forward, find your forward fold, maybe pedaling out those feet here. Perhaps another release for the shoulders, the neck. The nod, yes and no. And then keeping our left foot forward, step back with the right foot. Dropping the back knee down, lifting up, interlacing those hands. Again, if you need your blanket, you can prop that down for that back knee, as so. Lifting up here, releasing forward, chest up and open, nice big reach up towards the sky. Pressing the hips forward, but keeping a little strength and control here as well, not just dumping into these. When you're ready, let's find that lizard shape on the other side. So bring your hands to the inside of that left foot. This may be it, maybe rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot. Perhaps bringing the forearms down. Working wherever feels right for you today. Stay for 3 breaths, unrushed. Focus on those breaths, nice and smooth. When you finish your 3 breaths, framing your front foot, tucking your back toes, finding your high lunge. Then coming up on the other side, interlacing those hands, dropping the back knee down. Nice big reach up, opening up the chest, the shoulders, the back, the hips. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, frame your front foot, step forward once again. Move my blankie out of the way. Forward fold. Press through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. And taking a nice gentle flow here as you inhale forward. Drop your knees down. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, find your baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Bring your big toes to touch. Find your child's pose. Sinking down here. Perhaps creating a bit more space for the belly. Take the knees out wide. Maybe it feels better to create a ball here. Wherever you are, let's begin to walk our hands over towards the right side. So child's pose, but with a nice side bend here. You can bring your left hand on top of the right, find a little extra release through the side of the left. Stay for 2 more breaths. And gently walk your hands back through the center over to the other side. When you're ready, walking your hands back through center. Coming back up here, we're going to find one last downward facing dog. We're making our way into our pigeon pose. If you know this does not work for your knees, you'll be doing the reverse variation, which I'll show you in a moment. We're pressing up into that down dog. To move into your pigeon on the right side, we're going to lift our right leg up towards the sky and then bend the knee, bring the right knee towards the right wrist and sink down into your pigeon. It doesn't matter where your shin is, it does not need to be straight. Just wherever it falls naturally in your body. And then from here you can begin to fold forward, releasing out through the hips. If this causes you sharp knee pain and does not feel good for you, come over onto your back and work into your reversed variation. So bringing the right heel on top of the left thigh, maybe interlacing the hands through and drawing the knee in towards the body in your reverse pigeon, your figure 4. So choosing which variation works for you, settling here. Staying here for 3 more breaths. In through the nose, maybe exhale, sighing, releasing out through the mouth. That feels good. And when you're ready, really gently walking your hands back up towards your hips. If you're in your pigeon, tuck your toes under, press it back, downward facing dog. If you're in your reverse variation, just gently unraveling and swapping sides. Coming into your pigeon on the other side, lift your left leg, bend your left knee towards left wrist. Sinking yourself down here. Perhaps using that blanket or whatever else you have here as support. Or just coming down onto your mat. Again, you can make those fists if you need to place your head down onto them. Or resting down to the mat. And just notice here how you respond to this shape. It can feel quite challenging in a lot of our bodies. Are you holding on to tension somewhere that you don't need to hold on to tension? Check in with yourself. Maybe you're making fists with your hands because this is uncomfortable for you. Can you release that? Perhaps there's tension through the face that you can release. When you're already really gently walking your hands back up towards your hips, you swing yourself around here. And then choosing to either finish your practice in a seated position today or lying down to the mat. So feel free to choose whichever feels best for you. Just for these last few moments where we still allow ourselves to have some time, these last few minutes just for you. I mean, all of your minutes are for you. This is a nice time, uninterrupted. Really be present with yourself. So finding that comfortable position, whether that is seated or lying down, closing your eyes. And just checking back in with how you're feeling now. Creating any last little movements that you might feel that you need to do. Maybe it's a twist. You might like to take another twist lying down, or a twist seated. Perhaps returning to your intention as you close off your practice, repeating that intention to yourself 3 times. And just noticing if there's any areas of your body, so doing another little body scan here. The areas you can still notice tension and tightness. And you let that soften, let it go. Could be your fingertips, your toes. Perhaps it's your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, little creases around your eyes, the space between your eyebrows. Allow it all to be soft and still. There's nowhere else that you need to be, just here. And when you are ready, really gently fluttering open your eyes. If you're lying down, take your time to come up to a seated position. If you have a little longer, feel free to keep your eyes closed down and stay for a little bit more relaxation. Thank you guys for joining me for your gentle flow. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week.